All right, guys, we are back. The previous video, we were working inside the game info instance blueprint, and we set up a lot of script in there for our front end display. Up next, we're going to work on the player info, the save game, and create some thumbnails for our characters. And then we'll probably pause there before we start working on our first main menu widget blueprint. So let's go ahead and start with the player info structure. So in the blueprints, all levels, open up the player info. And we need to create some variables in here that are going to pertain to our players. So first of all, let's start out with this first one here. We'll say this is my player name. So the name that the player has chosen to give themselves. It's not going to be a Boolean, it's going to be a text value. So let's change that to a text. Like so. Let's add another variable. This one will be called my player image. And this one will be a texture 2D. Texture 2D reference. This will be the avatar that they select, that we allow them to select from. Another variable, this one will be called my player character, so the character that they actually select. It's going to be of the character class, so character class. So another new variable, this one will be called my player character image. This one would be a texture 2D. And this is the image of the character that I have selected to play as. And one more. This one will be called my player status. And this will be text. And this is going to be the inside the lobby toggling whether or not I am ready or not ready. We'll probably allow the server to start even if people aren't ready. It's up to the server to decide, but it'll be nice for players to let the server know that they are ready or not ready. So with that, we can add some defaults. We're only going to worry about the player image and the player status. We'll just give a default one for now. So the UE4 logo card or any other texture is fine. You feel free to change these later if you'd like. So the player status, by default, we are not ready. So I'm going to do that, something like that. And the rest, we're going to leave that up to the players to define. So let's save this, and let's close this out. That's all we need to do for our player info. So let's go to our player save game now and open that up. And inside of this is going to be very short. Whoops, let me drag that off screen. There we go. For this, all we're going to do is create a variable to hold our player info structure locally. So let's go ahead and create a variable. And it's going to be called s_player info. S for save, and we need to change it to the player info structure type. So player info. And this variable does need to be replicated. So let's go ahead and change this to replicated. I'm not going to worry about categories or anything because this is literally the only thing that we're going to do in here. Now you see if I expand this, there's all those settings. So let's save this and let's close this. That's all we need to do. So all of the blueprints inside of our all levels are set. Let's see, what else do we want to do? Let's go into the maps folder. Let's go to the maps folder. Not that maps folder, our maps folder. Let's open up Arena 01. So inside of Arena 01, we're going to go to the world settings and make some changes real quick. We're going to specify to use our game mode. So the game mode override, it's currently none, but we want it to be our gameplay GM. Like so. And we can expand this and we could say for the player controller class, use our gameplay player controller. Default pawn, let's change that to 0 base as well. It's not going to matter because it's going to use the player, the selected character that the player selected. So with all of those set, we should be good. Let's save this real quick. Because right now we're going to have a little bit of a, best way to put this, a little bit of a photo session for all of our characters. Now this is not going to be pretty, but we need some thumbnails to represent all of our characters. So we're going to create those together. Actually, before we do that, we'll take the thumbnails for our maps because that's going to be easiest. So what we'll do is I'm going to fly way up like this, something like this. Going to hit something like that and hit G on my keyboard. And let me move in just a little bit more so you can see it like that. I'm going to hit print screen and I'm going to go to trusty old paint. And just going to paste this in, deselect everything, and just drag a selection box around this. Doesn't have to be perfect. And hit Control C and Control N. Don't save it. Paste it. And we'll save this as our thumbnail for our Arena 1 map. So we'll say save as. Is this desktop? Yeah, let me create a new folder on here. Let's call it thumbs. Open it up. Make sure that it is a PNG. And we'll say Arena 01. So with that, I'm going to open up Arena 02 and do the same thing. Let's just save our game mode because we made changes to it. So save selected. So in here, we're going to need to do the same thing for the overrides. Gameplay GM. It's already set for us because we saved it. Let's save this. And I'm going to fly up and just hit G on my keyboard again. So this is a terrible arena. Print screen, paint, paste it, deselect everything, just drag a selection box around this. Control N, Control V to paste it. We'll save this as Arena 02. Now the Infinity Blade Warriors pack also has, or not Warriors, the Infinity Blade assets that are available on the marketplace. There's 3 or 4 levels that are created that you could use as the actual levels. Probably should have did that, but then we would have to import all of those assets. So I think this is fine for now. So what I'm going to do now is hop back to Arena 01. And time for a photo session with all of our characters. So I'm going to kind of fly into the level here real quick. Somewhere down here. Maybe down over here. Something like this. Okay, I'm going to go to the character, blueprint, characters, and I'm going to take Barbarous and just bring him into the level. Not scale him, but hit E and rotate him around. I'm going to kind of fly in. Doesn't have to be perfect. Something like this. I'm going to hit G to go into game view, and that's going to be our thumbnail for our characters. So something like this. So print screen. And let's paste this, deselect everything, add a selection box around this. It's probably a little bit wide, but Control N, Control, there we go. Control V, paste it. So this is Barbarous. Let's save as, call it Barbarous. So we have our first thumbnail for our character. What you can do if you have it selected, then go to the content browser, select the next character in line. You can right click and say replace with the next character, so replace with Forge. So that'll keep them in the same spot. Hit escape, print screen, go to paint, paste it, deselect everything, selection box. I keep making a big one on that side. Dimensions don't have to be perfect for now. And Control V, and this is Forge. Let's close. So you can do that for the remaining characters. I'm actually going to pause the video for a second and do this so you don't have to sit here with me while I do this. We're going to jump ahead in time here in a second, and then we should have all of our thumbnails created. So we're going to pause for a second, and we'll be back with the thumbnails for all of our characters. Okay, so we have taken all the thumbnails. Hopefully you have as well. Let me open that up. So we have our 8 characters. We have our 2 maps. Now we're going to import those into Unreal inside of our textures folder here. So let me just get it on that and bring up that again. So I'm just going to select all of these and drag that and drop that inside of our textures folder. Okay, let me close that. So they all have been added. Let's go ahead and save all. I'm actually going to kill this guy. We don't need him in our level anymore. Just pull him out. And if we go into game view again, we save. There we go. So we have all of our textures and we have our maps. There's one other thing that we'll do before we close out this this video and move on. We'll set up our lobby map. So let's go to the maps and let's open up the lobby. Double click, open that up. And inside the lobby, this is going to be an area where players can kind of run around and hang out before they jump into the actual gameplay. They can chat, they can select their character and perform actions with their character. Eventually, we'll turn this into something much cooler than this empty slab of block here. So for now, what we'll do, I'm just going to select it and scale it up a little bit. So hit R and just stretch it out, something like that. So I have a little bit more room to run around on this platform. Other thing we'll do is we'll add some more player starts. Just double check the scale on this one. That one's okay. I'm just going to move it back. And for this, we'll have 8 player starts in here. So we'll have 1. Select that. Select both player starts. Hold Alt. Oops. Hold Alt. And drag out that. So we have 4. Select all of them now. Just going to move them over a little bit. And let's hold Alt and drag those out. So we have 8 now. Hit E and rotate them around. So facing this way. W. Something like that. They're going to face off against each other in this little space. The other thing that we'll do is we'll go to the world settings and we'll assign the lobby game mode here. So lobby game mode. Lobby game mode is going to use the lobby player controller. So lobby PC. Default pawn class, we're going to set that to 0_base. And that should be all we need to do there. Last thing we'll do is we'll add some collision boxes around the side here so players can't fall off the level into the world. Again, this is just temporary, just to kind of set up our lobby. So we'll go to volumes. Should be a blocking volume. Yeah, let's take that, drag that in, and let's just kind of scale it up. Half on, half off, something like this. R, and just stretch it out, stretch it up, something like that. And just move it over. Make sure it's kind of clipping in. Looks good to me. Make sure they can't jump over it too, so pull it up. Like that. Alt, drag out a copy. And this does not have to be precise. This is just to keep players from falling off. So if you're wondering the exact volume sizes, just kind of eyeball it. Alt, drag this out, hit E and rotate it. And then kind of push this over to this side. And hold Alt, drag out a copy, put it on that side. So now they're encapsulated in this area with those blocking volumes. Okay, let's go ahead and save our lobby map whenever you're done. And then the last thing we'll do is open up our main menu map. Let's save it, save our lobby jam as well. So now we should be on the main menu map, and we're going to pause here and we're going to pick it back up in the next video where we start working on the main menu widget blueprint, setting that up. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you then.